Peace, y'all. This advice show thing, I just watched BGS Ibmore's video, and everybody's been speaking on dude. In the end of the day, there's a situation with Phil Advice show. I guess some kind of picture or something has came out that he had Hispanic wife. People saying white, but she's clearly not white. She's like Hispanic or something like that. Everybody's speaking on how he has this wife, but I was wondering where all this was coming from, because he been said that. Like, he said that all the time. He was just admitting. I just watched, because I don't really watch dude like that, and he just admitted it. He did a video about Dr. Mumbi from the show Wake Up Africa, or whatever her show is called. Now, the point I wanted to bring up is, like, people talk about this whole thing like, oh, you can't be pro-black. It's like everybody has so many rules on fucking pro-black. People got all these rules on pro-black, and it's like, dude, who gives a fuck? That's what I'm like wondering. People are like, it's like motherfuckers are sitting around like they got some type of power with this word. You know what I mean? Like, you the referee and this is the game, and you got that flag. I'll tell you, buddy. I'll throw you out the game. I don't give a fuck about if you think somebody's pro-black. Nobody gives a fuck about that. And as long, I think, again, I don't really watch a show like that, but to me, he already has been saying that he has a non-black wife. So I don't really see how big is this really going to hit his following. I don't really think it will. And number one, he's been saying, and I think maybe it's because some picture came out, but again, who cares? And like, number two, nobody gives a damn if you're pro-black. He doesn't have that following, and he's not doing all of that because he's pro-black. That's not the reason that's happening. It's not because he's pro-black. It's because he has a consistent and well-produced show. He's putting out quality content. People are looking at the content. They're not looking at he's pro-black. You see what I'm saying? You're not getting anything for being pro-black. You get nothing. Like, for instance, think about it. If it was such a big deal and it was so important for people to marry inside the race or do something like that, right? If it was that important, why is it that people who do these things, they do marry inside the race, they do that, they don't get anything for it? You don't get anything special for it. It's not like, and that's my point with people saying, like, who cares? It's not like you get put on this big mantle. You know what I mean? You get the title belt and shit. You get $10,000 a month just as long as you're pro-black. And then when some big scandal comes, we're gonna knock you off, or we're gonna take everything. Everything's gone. Oh, we're taking it down. You're not pro-black anymore. It's like, motherfucker, I don't give a fuck about you calling me pro-black. You know what I mean? And then dude, I was watching BGS Ibmore, and that was his whole thing. It's like, well, you could be pro-black, you just can't lead. You just can't, man. Please, look. All Advice show got to do is just manage his emotions. Don't get too caught up, and don't be out there watching the videos. Don't even worry about that shit, and just hit them. Just keep putting out good content, because that's why people fuck with you anyway. All of that caring about who somebody did, that shit is fake. Don't get me wrong. I know there are some people who don't want to see that or whatever, but in the end of the day, like I told you, it's nothing real behind it, because you don't get any real kudos for dating inside your race and no shit like that. You know what I mean? Like, people may like a lot of, like, for instance, let's say you put out a photo of like some black love and all that kind of shit. Again, it's just like I told you with the Advice show thing. He's hot because he makes quality content. It's not because of none of that other fake ass shit niggas that try to hold this pro-black shit over your head. All that shit, that's not the reason. He's hot because he makes quality content. And if I put out photos of, oh yeah, this is black love right here, if I put some fat ugly motherfuckers, it wouldn't be getting 1 million likes. It's usually, this is like some type of fucking actor, and shit, some nigga with a perfect edge up and all that. You know what I'm saying? Some chicken, half naked, some kind of African clothes and shit like that, and everybody's looking at it like, yeah, right here, this is love. But really, you know, it's like a nice picture. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't want to completely discount and act like people don't care about black love, so-called. But the reasons that they care about this black love is superficial. It's not tied to any type of real, it's not tied to any type of real philosophical stance or political stance or structural stance. It's not tied to that. So you can get a pass if you're not doing that one thing, as long as you're giving them something else that they want to give. See, this is the thing about being successful as a black man. Ain't nobody gave you shit. Ain't nobody gave Phil Advice Show no motherfucking favors. He earned that following. He earned what he has. You see what I'm saying? Due to, again, giving out that quality content. Nobody gives a fuck about all that, who you're fucking on, all that. Come on, man. And you know what kills me the most too about like the hypocrisy of this? All of these people, because people will talk about how, well, it's the black family. You gotta have a black family, especially if you're dealing with like listening to sisters talk and all of that. Well, we need the black family to build, and it's like all of a sudden motherfuckers start turning into nationalists when we start talking about interracial dating, which is interesting. Well, it's not interesting, it's bullshit, you know what I mean? Niggas want to start conveniently turning into nationalists, but then when we want to have a different conversation related to this, all of a sudden, you know, they know where to be found. But anyway, the hypocrisy of it is these people, you'll have people who have been single or have just been, you know, doing situationships, just fucking bitches, going through person to person and not really lasting, you know, the shit I'm doing, you know what I mean, but the shit most people are doing, and haven't built a family in like 10 plus years, 15 years, all of this shit, have not built a family, have not had any kids, haven't done any of this, and they'll go and they want to put niggas like Phil Advice Show and all these other dudes, they want to put them on the guillotine for some shit they ain't even doing. Like, motherfucker, you ain't even starting a family. Now, I get that it's a different, oh man, I'm trying to sit here and get over it. I get that it's a different situation as far as starting a family and actually going outside your race. I understand that that's two separate situations, but the reality is, if it was that serious to you that we had the black family, if it was that serious to you that we had black children, if it was that serious to you, it would take a way higher priority in your life. You know what I'm saying? It would take a much higher priority in your life. That's why a lot of this outrage is fake outrage. You know, you would actually get something if you got into a relationship or whatever. Ain't nobody giving a fuck about that shit at the end of the day. You need to produce as a black man or your life is fucking worthless. You need to have some type of something. Some of that, you know, like the shit Phil Advice Show is doing. You have to produce or your life is worthless. And in the end of the day, so I would say Phil Advice Show will be fine. As long as he continues to be productive with his show. I would address that shit when I haven't even watched it. I haven't been back to watch the show. I don't really watch a show like that, you know. It's kind of like basic topics, a lot of stuff. And most of the stuff that's like highly, you know, a lot of people like, usually I don't, you know. But I haven't watched a show in a while. But if he just sticks to making these videos and doing these things, I would address it one time briefly, point out that obviously I have already told you guys this situation, but now you got some weirdos who want to just go out there and blast these photos like, alright, whatever, you know what I'm saying? It's not like I didn't tell you. And then just address that shit. Don't get all emotional. Don't get to cussing motherfuckers out and going after people individually. Just let them just do what they got to do, and just keep it rolling. You know, keep it rolling. Keep making videos. Keep doing that, and people are gonna watch. Because when they was watching the first time, I don't care what nobody tells you, they weren't doing you any favors. People are not doing you any favors, period. Because if you came out there with some trash ass content, inconsistent, trash, poor quality, poor audio, poor video, all these different things, nobody will fuck with you. You could have the blackest of black chick right there on your arm on the camera with you. If your content is trash, people won't get it. They watch good content that's consistent, something they can count on, something that they can place as a part of their day, you know what I mean? And in reality, not what they say out their mouth. In reality, they care less about like who you're fucking when it comes to that. They care less about who you're fucking when it comes to that. So I don't know. I'm just tired of people going with this whole pro-black. Like, motherfucker, you can have it. Like, people are, well, I thought he was cool, but you're not pro-black. Like, fuck you in your fucking pro-black standards, motherfucker. I mean, I've been pro-black for the longest time, but it's like, bruh, well, basically like since my daughter's been around. You know what I mean? She's 9 now. And that's when I started, I should say. And it's like, but I never had anybody's little fake ass standards in mind, and I still don't to this day. So it's like, bro, so you telling me if I just say, oh, I'm not this ambiguous title of pro-black, all of a sudden then I won't have to deal with a bunch of people complaining and talking bullshit and all, you know what I mean? You can have it if that's the case, you know what I mean? Nobody gives a fuck about your pro-black title. Don't come with no money, don't come with no nothing. Any money that man is getting, it's not because he's pro-black, it's because there is a gap in the market and he filled it with quality content, period. There was a gap in the market and he filled it with quality content. And that's all your worth is if you're a black man. Understand that. Your worth is only what you produce. These people with all this fake ass pro-black complaining and all that bullshit, don't go for none of that, man. Period. Yeah, I don't know if anything's in the chat or whatever. This is my first time kind of doing this. So I think it probably would pop up if somebody was talking, so I don't even really know. I'm on riding right now on a little car ride, but I just heard that BGS Ibmore video and wanted to speak on it, people with this whole and listen, let me say, I'm not necessarily disagreeing with BGS Ibmore and what he's saying as far as you don't get to lead if you're dating interracially. Oh yeah, I'm glad I said that again so I could bring up this last point. In the end of the day, man, do I consider myself pro-black? Sure, but it's less about some superficial kind of title of being pro-black, you know, because obviously I want to bring up 2 points of this. One, there's more ways to be pro-black than dating. You know, that's just like one thing, because think about it. The majority of, like, for instance, if you look at black marriage statistics, 85% of black men are married to black women. 94% of black women are married to black men. And these are just marriage statistics, which are an indicator for just kind of relationships in general. It doesn't directly overlap, but it's an indicator for general relationships, right? So for the most part, the overwhelming majority of people are already staying together. If that was as important to the pro-black platform as people make it, if that was as important to the pro-black platform and experience as people made it, just on the strength of the fact of us having this many people already in black relationships, we should be gaining a bunch of ground, right? Shouldn't we? Shouldn't we already have been going like super, like, think about it. If all you have to do is be pro-black, date another black, date inside the race, get you a sister. If it was that important, all of these people, it would already be gaining a bunch of ground, and you know, it would be advancing the so-called struggle, another ambiguous term. But when we look at it, the reality is it doesn't. The reality is it doesn't, and the reality is you got a bunch of people that's dating black people for just circumstances. Circumstantially, they're dating black people. They grew up like a lot of niggas. I ain't never dated shit else. It's like, nigga, you ain't never had no bitches, bro. Them other chicks didn't want to date you. Or you're broke at. You only been in the hood. You've been in one particular area. You know what I'm saying? Or you're 50, nigga. You're 50. You grew up when the integration didn't really hit like that. Right now, today, we're dealing with a totally different time. You know what I'm saying? I went to school, all my friends was black, my experiences was black, I played Pop Warner, was black, right? But our shit was integrated more. So you was around other women, and at the end of the day, as a man, a woman starts showing you love, bro, you're gonna fuck with it. So my thing is, these people are pretending. Now, some of them are taking principled stands, but they're in the minority. Most people are just gonna deal with like what's around them and the women that show them love in their immediate area. Most people just deal with it like that. So all these people with this, yeah, I ain't never dated nothing else. First of all, nigga, you're lying. Or second of all, you ain't lying, but you couldn't get no bitches anyway, so you just had to deal with what you get. Or you ain't moved, you've been in the hood, and in the hood, that's people are right next to each other. So people are gonna mesh if that's what you're right next to. You know what I'm saying? So I say all that to say what? The majority of the time, these people are not making these decisions based on, they're not making these decisions based on like some type of like honor code and shit. Like, oh, I have to stay the pro-black fucking mantle. You know what I mean? They're not making this decision based on an honor code. So these, usually you have a bunch of people who are dating like that. But this is just a bunch of apathetic black people who are like, don't give a fuck about nothing one way or the other. You know what I'm saying? Just a bunch of apathetic black people just kind of just minding their business. And they fell into a situation and it had nothing to do, it wasn't tied to any pro-black philosophical, grandiose plan for the people. You see what I'm saying? So it matters a lot less. It matters a lot less than you think to black people changing their condition that a person is dating inside the race. Period. So for me, I understand this. So I got somebody like Phil at Vice Show. Man, I can overlook what he's doing. I'll be honest with you. Hell yeah, I can overlook that shit, man. You know, like think about when white folks started this shit up, they had the whole white supremacy thing and all of that. You think it was really a part of the deal for them to be going around fucking with like black slaves and all this different shit, or whatever the case, you know what I'm saying? Or even to this day, right now, like you got motherfuckers like Robert De Niro and all of this dating black women or whatever. That's not a part of the original white supremacy plan. But if we have a big project to do, okay, this project is going to be worth $200 million. It's going to employ 100, 200, 500, 400 people and make money and be in my catalog over the course of the next fucking 20 years. I think we can overlook this dude and his little chocolate fetish. I think we can overlook that. I think we got more important shit. I think we can look over that for a second because he's going to actually get more done than these other people who are just dating white people just because. And that's the same situation with these interracial dating people. If you are putting in work, bruh, if you are putting in work, you are more important to me than somebody that's just simply just dating a black person. Okay? Put in work. That's more important to me. So, I can overlook a lot of it. I can overlook the homo shit. I don't agree with the homo shit either. But it's not a big deal to me like that. Because if I go, I want to build, I want to see black people build their own nation outside the United States. We need our own land where we make the laws and everything from top to bottom. If you are a civil engineer and I need you to come through and do a fucking whatever type of project and build things or whatever, and you into some gay shit, I'm gonna tell you, bro, just keep that shit out, the public, whatever, and do your thing and show up to work on time. Because in the end of the day, it's people like this that actually produce things that are going to be they are gonna lay the foundation for you to be able to be pro-black and date your black women and everything. You understand what I'm saying? That is he's the only thing that matters. He matters a million times more. He's created more value than you people who just date. So don't get me wrong, to close this out, I'm not telling you it's okay to not date black women. I think we should be dating each other. That's my stance. That's just what it is. It's not superficial and it's not coming from a place of like emotion and whatever. It's not coming from there. I think we should, Oh, and just one last minor point. Like for instance, I be thinking about this shit all the time. It's like people who are like, you really think I guess a pro-black that nobody will deny would be like Malcolm X. You really think Malcolm X that last moment when he decided to become black conscious or pro-black, you really think he was like, yo, I'm gonna do this shit. You see this black woman? This is the reason I want to be pro-black and all of that and get shot. You think it was just pro-black, or excuse me, the fact that he wanted to be in a black relationship that was the tipping point to tip him over? No, it had nothing to do with that. It was a philosophical awakening and something things that he discovered through his studies, through his journeys, through his observations, through what he was woken up to by the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. It had more to do with a man than it did with a woman. when he became that way. And it was the same thing for me. It was the same thing for pretty much any genuine pro-black person. It wasn't about dating. Now, for a lot of women, it's about dating. But see, I can't count those women as really pro-black because they're not really pro-black. They're only big into the pro-black thing for their own personal reasons. You see what I'm saying? So I'm not really counting them. I'm talking about the women who actually did awaken to something. Like, even them, it wasn't just about the dating. You see? So again, but yeah, I just want to throw it out there. But back to my original point in closing, the biggest thing is not being pro-black, or excuse me, it's not necessarily who you date. I will take a person doing this, even though we should not be. I will take that. Just don't go out promoting it on some Chrissy, Crystal, and Kerosene type shit. Don't go out promoting it. Don't do none of that. You just do your thing, you know what I'm saying, and show up for work on time. You know what I mean? You're gonna do your gay shit. Don't go out here on some shit. Well, we gotta promote this homo shit. Don't promote it. Just do your thing and show up for work on time. Don't ask, don't tell type shit. All right. So I look at it like that. Take that. And, you know, you guys stop with all this fake ass outrage, acting like, you know, like you're about to take the pro-black title from somebody, you're gonna lose some kind of money and all that. Knock it off. I say to Phil, keep producing, keep doing your thing. You know, don't get all caught up in this shit. You know what I mean? Whatever. It's not necessarily a video to support Phil. It's more just a video to call out this hypocrisy on this whole dating pro-black shit, you know, because it's bullshit. If we had as much passion as comes up, as when this topic comes up, if we had that much passion into building for black people, bro, we would have had some shit built already. By far. That's why I know this shit is fake. So, you know, and at the end of the day, find you a black woman, yeah, you should, whatever. But if you don't, and you got a little vanilla fetish, or, you know what I'm saying, you got your little Hispanic chick fetish, you know, do your thing and report for work, man. Don't ask, don't tell. Don't promote it. Just do your thing. You know, be honest. And provide whatever it is that you provide, whatever value that you add that shit. You know, and people are gonna fuck with you. Because if you're a black man and you made it doing anything in this country, best believe ain't nobody did you no favors. And if they say they doing you a favor, they're a damn lie. But yeah, that's it, man.